So I needed to do the updates for the GenAI website and the news ratings. So I figured I might as well just record it. That way other people can learn how I do it and they can jump in if needed and use it as well. And I'll put all the URLs. There's not many, but for the people on the team who have access, this is hopefully going to be helpful. So I'll share my screen and let's just jump into this. So let's see, what are we going to need? We're going to need a notepad. We'll be using this just to copy and paste the URLs for all the articles. We're going to need to go to Hubspot. All right, on Hubspot under marketing, we have files and templates, and that's where you'll find the HubDB called articles. You click into that. We'll get back to this in a minute. But basically, this is where you're going to go to do the action of importing the new articles that we're going to be adding. The other thing we're going to need is the GenAI news briefings. And we have already updated HubSpot through April 26th. In fact, if we go over here and we sort by date, you'll see April 26th is the latest date that we had in there. So tonight we're going to do the 29th, the 30th, and May 1st. Those are the three most recent ones that needed to be added to the database. Last thing we're going to need is the Data Prep Assist bot. This is the ChatGPT bot I've made. It helps prepare and format the articles for upload. We don't need the verbose mode. We don't need the explainer. I know what I'm doing, and I'm making an explainer. So I think we're ready to dive in. And so let's check out how this process goes. So what I like to do is I like to take all of the articles that need to be added. And so I select all the articles that I need to get updated, and I like to forward them all as an attachment so that I have them all in one place. Just as part of my workflow, it just works out better this way. So if I even just send that to myself, boom, that's sent. Now, if I go over to my sent mail, you'll see there's the latest articles. And I like to work from here. So you can see here's May 1st, April 30th, and April 29th. So we're going to need these three articles. We're going to need the Data Prep Assist bot, which will help us here. We have our three articles that I forwarded. It just allows me to keep track and organize everything better. The oldest one is April 29th, so I will open that in a new window. I'll do a Control-A, Control-C, come over to the Assist bot and just paste that entire article in there, right? And it'll actually then pull out the articles and the ratings. You'll see here it actually just comes back and says step one's complete. Now it wants the URLs. So let's go through and let's open all of those articles. Here's the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, and sixth one. And you'll see in just a minute why I do them in this order. You'll see on the left here is the oldest one. Or I mean, I should say on the left here is the one. Hey. Yeah, that didn't seem to work. So when that happens, what I do is I just copy the name of the article and I do a search for that. And there you can find it. So there, now we've got that latest one. So there's the JP Morgan article, then Oracle, Estee Lauder, et cetera, right? Oracle, Estee Lauder, et cetera. And the reason I do them in this order is because I use hotkeys to speed up this workflow. So I select the URL, I copy it, I Alt-Tab over to my text pad, I paste, hit Enter, Alt-Tab back, and then Control-Tab moves me to the next article. Then an Alt-D will select the URL, Control C, Alt Tab, Control V, Enter. So I just keep doing that process over and over. I'll do an Alt Tab, a Control Tab, an Alt D, a Control C, an Alt Tab, and a Control V. And you'll see it actually, I move through these quite quickly. So you can just watch me here as I flow through them. So I tap back, Control Enter brings me to the next article, Alt D, Control C, Alt Tab, Control V. Alt Tab, Control Enter, Alt D, Control C, Alt Tab, Control V, Enter. Alt Tab, Control Enter, Alt D, Control C, Alt Tab, Control V, Enter. See, and I can very quickly, without taking my hand off the keyboard, work through and get all these URLs. One more time, Alt Tab, Control Enter takes me to the next tab, Alt D, Control C, Alt Tab, Control V. Now I have all of the URLs in the order I need them. So I can do a Control A, a Control C, and now Alt Tab brings me back over here. And now I can go to my assist bot and I paste in all of those URLs at once. Hit Enter and just let it do its magic. Step 2 is completed. It's now cleaned the HTML in the title fields and it's generating the CSV for download. While it's creating that CSV, we come back over to our Hubspot table and we can say Actions, Import, Add, Next, and now we're ready to choose the file. Shouldn't be long now. Usually while I'm waiting for it, I will go over to the article that I'm completed now, close that, and I'll open up the next one. So here's April 30th. This is the next one we're going to be working with. I can do a Control A, and now that's ready to go for the next set of articles. Back over here, should be almost done. All right, we now have our CSV ready for download with the date, which we want to validate, 4/29. So I can save that in my downloads, hop back over here, choose the file. There it is, 4/29. Be sure to go into the advanced options and change it to UTF-8 so that it's formatted correctly. Then we hit Next. We match the fields, date, rating, title, and rationale, and import. Import is complete. We can hit Done, and then you can publish the page. We go over to GenAI Insights. We should now be able to validate, and this already has the 29th in there. So we go to the Insights, GenAI News Briefing Ratings. And as soon as it sorts them, which it'll do automatically after the page loads, and we refresh the page, it'll load the page, hopefully sort by date, and then show 4/29 at the top. And there we go. We now have the latest articles loaded. Let's flow through that process one more time. So here's where we're going to import, but not yet. We'll start a new session with our data prep assist bot. And here's the April 30th email that I've opened from it being forwarded to me. We're now ready to go. So we Control A, Control C, Alt Tab, Control V, bam. It's extracted the information. It's ready for step 2. It wants the URLs. So this is where we go through my keyboard shortcuts and flow through the workflow. So we open this one, then Alt Tab back, this one, Alt Tab back, this one, this one, this one, this one. It's always good now to check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 articles. And as it says here, 1 essential, 2 important, 3 optional, 6 articles. We are good to go. So now we need to get all of these URLs into our notepad. So that's where I do Alt-D, Control-C, Alt-Tab over, Control-V, and hit Enter, right? And we'll see. I'll go through this quite quickly. I'll just say it one more time. So Alt-Tab, Control-Tab, which moves to the next tab on the screen, Alt-D, Control-C, Alt-Tab, Control-V, and Enter. One, two, three, four, five, six. Make short work of those. Control-A, Control-C, copy them, come over to our bot, paste those in there. It will now attach the URLs to the titles. Sometimes it automatically goes on and builds it. Sometimes it doesn't. So then you can just say continue or yes, please, or please do, or anything like that. You just want it to keep going. There's nothing to do. It just needs to prompt sometimes. So the HTML has been cleaned and now it's analyzing and it's making that CSV for us. So we can close all these, get ready for the next one. And on this last one, I'll just flow through it and let you watch. I won't explain what I'm doing, just so you can see how quickly it all comes together. But let's finish this one off first. We want to add new articles. So here we are in the HubDB, action, import, add, next. And then we're waiting to choose the file while this is generating the CSV for us. Meanwhile, we can come back over here. We've done the 29th. We're doing the 30th. So May 1st will be the next set to do. It's now ready to go. Okay, we've got the CSV here. We'll download it. Then we'll hop back over to HubSpot, choose the file. Remember to choose UTF-8. Next, match the fields. Import. Import is complete. Click Done. We should be able to now see if we sort by date, there's April 30th, and we can publish. Articles published successfully, and then we can reload the page, and we should see the April 30th news on there. It seems like there's a little delay in the refresh here. I don't know why. And they're there. Sometimes it just takes a minute to propagate from the database to the front end of the website, but it seems like we're good to go. So I will flow through this third day of articles without talking, just so that you can watch what it looks like when I'm just banging on and getting the work done. We've got our HubSpot DB ready. We've got our new chat with the Data Prep Assist bot. We've got our May 1st email open, and we're ready to go. So here we go. The waiting is the hardest part. Shouldn't be long now, though. But honestly, the longest part of the whole process now is it compiling the CSV file. Pretty amazing. And we're done. We can wait for it to propagate to the website, and then we can come over here and validate. Easy peasy. I'll also, of course, share all the links. Refresh the page. Make sure you've given it time for the news to propagate. You see I've given it about a minute, but you still don't see the May 1st on there. I'll just do a refresh again. And there we go. All the news that's fit to print. Filter by essential, and there we go. Happy days. Everything is done and rock and roll. That's it. Of course, ask me if you have any questions. Happy to sit and walk through it with you. I think one of the real time savers for me is the hotkeys when I'm copying the URLs and getting them ready in that notepad. Just the workflow of the control tab to move to the next browser tab with the alt D to select the URL, then control C, alt tab, control V. That whole process really saves me a lot of time of not having to mouse around. There we go. That's it.